On everyone. When it comes to Kyrie Irving, it is believed that sooner rather than later, he will be a Los Angeles Lakers. It's a matter of when, not if, and he will go and play with LeBron James. LeBron wants to play with Kyrie. Kyrie wants to play with LeBron. There's also been other, thoughts and exploratory ideas of maybe you trade Anthony Davis and get Kevin Durant too. So you have LeBron James, Kyrie, Kevin Durant. That would be an incredible team. Westbrook and AD, they go to the Brooklyn Nets, and they have the pieces needed to remain competitive. Lakers maybe throw in the 2 first, stuff like that. And now you're off to the races. If you're the Lakers, you're easily winning a championship or 2. The Nets are still really solid and very likely are still competitive, maybe even a contender with all the other pieces they have around them. It would be very interesting. But what about another trade where Kyrie and LeBron still get to play together and Westbrook and Kevin Durant still end up playing together? And what if they swapped LeBron James and Kevin Durant? Now, before we dive into this, I just want to say I don't think for a second this would ever happen. I don't think that either team would ever do this. I don't think the Lakers would ever trade LeBron. I don't think LeBron would want to go anywhere but the Lakers. And I don't think Kevin Durant would want to go to the Lakers without LeBron James, right? I mean, you can make the argument, yeah, it makes sense. One of the reasons he might not want to go to the Lakers is because of LeBron. But I mean, if you have LeBron, you're winning a championship, right? And he already went to the Warriors. So, but just for exploratory purposes, I mean, it would make a lot of sense, right? LeBron James gets to go play with Kyrie. He gets to be in Brooklyn, a big market still in New York City, kind of build another brand out there. So he's got his brand in LA, he's got New York, all of that stuff. So he's just going to elevate financially even further. Gets to play with Kyrie Irving. You still have Ben Simmons, although questions about that fit, but Ben Simmons is a smart player, and he could be in the dunker spot, play, the power forward position, stuff like that. You'd have TJ Warren, you'd have Seth Curry, you'd have Joe Harris, you'd have Patty Mills. You'd have all the shooting you could want if you're LeBron around him. And you'd still have Kyrie as that secondary guy that the two of them have proven that they can win a championship together. Brooklyn is still a contender. They're still a team that could win a championship. And as much as Brooklyn doesn't want Kyrie and has made it clear that they don't want Kyrie, LeBron James is kind of that one equalizer, right? Because Brooklyn would go, yeah, we don't want Kyrie, but Kyrie's home. He gets to play with LeBron James. LeBron can kind of keep him in check, keep him in line. So that might actually work. He might actually buy in and play if LeBron James is with him. Because LeBron kind of understands him. He knows how to get through to him. He knows how to kind of keep him in line, so to speak, where Kevin Durant, he's not as vocal. He's not going to push the envelope. He's not going to tell Kyrie, like, dude, you're messing up. Like, come on, I need you here. I need you to do what you need to do. And so Kevin Durant, he gets to go to the Lakers. The big question is, would he want to play with Westbrook, right? That would be the big thing. Like, would he want to play with Westbrook? But from all accounts that we know, him and Westbrook are in good standings. Like, they both are in still friends and talk, and they've kind of squashed that beef. But would they be enough to actually play? I don't know. But another big factor would be Westbrook is a free agent. So, if you're Kevin Durant, you still have Anthony Davis, which Kevin Durant loves Anthony Davis. I mean, he talked so highly of him, what was it, like a year or two ago, about like Anthony Davis is on his all-time team, and people were questioning that. I mean, even Shaq, I believe, even said something like, why Anthony Davis of all people? And Kevin Durant was like, name me another guy in history that could do everything that Anthony Davis could do. Like, Anthony Davis can be a top defender, top offensive player. He could do everything. He's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the athleticism. I mean, he talked so highly. And KD and Anthony Davis are a championship contending team. You add in Westbrook, who would be more of a natural fit because he could have the ball in his hands and be more Russell Westbrook rather than, LeBron needs the ball, and LeBron is the smarter of the two and the better of the two. So you want the ball in LeBron's hands. Where Westbrook could be more Westbrook. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook have worked together in the past to various success, and now you're adding a guy in Anthony Davis who could be a monster. If it doesn't work out, worst case scenario is that you have Westbrook's money fall off. You have Kevin Durant, and you have Anthony Davis, and you have the money to go get a third star or get a bunch of pieces to put around them. I mean, it would make sense for Kevin Durant. Would make a little sense for the Lakers. For Brooklyn, it would make sense because, yes, you're basically given, because it would be an even swap, right? There's probably not going to be any picks. There's probably not going to be anything involved because, they're equalizers as far as players and talent, things like that go. But Brooklyn might be in a much better situation, especially if LeBron would be willing to actually play there and stay there and sign an extension, stuff like that. That's where it would have to go into play. Again, it's just exploratory. I don't think it would ever happen, especially when it comes to LeBron James. I mean, LeBron went to LA for more reasons than just basketball. I mean, when he became a free agent, there were a plenty of teams that he could have went to and immediately won championships and been a contender for up until this point. I mean, at the time that he became a free agent, you're talking like, what, 3-4 years ago? He was a guy that people still wanted. You know, he was like 33, 34. Like, yes, people wanted him still. He would have been on a contending team winning. He probably would have won 2 or 3 more championships. But he wanted to go to the Lakers because he wanted to expand life after basketball, because he understands I am only getting older. I am getting more up in my career, and I'm starting to see the end. So let me go to LA. They have young assets that they can trade to go get me a star. Anthony Davis, go get me Anthony Davis. Boom, you got Anthony Davis. You won a championship. It worked out. You got all the star power now in LA. You got Anthony Davis to win championships, and you just became a billionaire. I think he would have became a billionaire regardless, but this just sort of expedited the process. So there are reasons beyond basketball for why LeBron James went to the Lakers. And that's why I don't think LeBron is going to leave. He has his footing in LA. He has everything in LA. He's in the place he wants to be, which is LA. That's why I'm not worried about him. Even if he doesn't sign the extension, I'm not worried about him leaving. He's not going to leave the Lakers. Like, where else is he going to go at this point in his career? You know, like, no teams have the cap to sign him, and the teams that do have the cap to sign him, he's not going to want to go to, and no team is going to gut their roster to go get LeBron James, at 38 years old. It's just not going to happen. So it's not like he has many places, many options to go, unless he's signing like a vet minimum deal, which he's not going to do. He might take a slight pay cut, but he's not going to sign, he's not going to take a $40 million pay cut. That's not going to happen. So LeBron, he ain't going anywhere until his son comes to the league or he's ready to retire, and then maybe he signs, a 1-year deal with the Cavs just to retire a Cleveland Cavalier. That's likely what happens. But you probably have at least 2 more years, at least, with LeBron James, because his son isn't eligible till 2025. So you still have at least 2 years before that happens. You'll probably give it a year for his son to kind of get established, get his footing in the league, and then go join him. So LeBron ain't going anywhere. The Lakers aren't trading a guy like LeBron James. They had a great package for Kobe Bryant back in the day, and they never traded Kobe. They don't trade their stars. You could argue Shaquille O'Neal, but that was a completely different scenario, and they kind of didn't have a choice. It was like, do you want Kobe Bryant or do you want Shaquille O'Neal? They started seeing the decline of Shaquille O'Neal and decided to trade him. That was a completely different scenario. Otherwise, they wouldn't have traded Shaq. Lakers aren't very big on, let's trade our superstars. And LeBron is superstar of superstars. So he ain't going anywhere. But just for exploratory reasons, like I said, it does make a lot of sense from all fronts. I just think that you'd have this team for the Nets. You got Kyrie, you got LeBron, you got Ben Simmons. If Ben Simmons can be Philly Ben Simmons, it also would help a lot because LeBron, the whole reason they got Westbrook, although it didn't work, but the whole reason they got Westbrook was to alleviate a lot of the ball handling duties and stuff like that with LeBron and allow LeBron to play off the ball more. With a guy like Ben Simmons, LeBron can do that more effectively because Ben Simmons is just a better, smarter passer, distributor. He's not as turnover prone as Westbrook, stuff like that. He's a better finisher. He's bigger, right? So Ben Simmons could play the point guard duties at times, spell LeBron. LeBron's outside shooting has improved tremendously, so this would be hugely beneficial for them as well. It would be a win across the board for the Brooklyn Nets. You still have Kyrie as your scoring option. You got T.J. Warren. If he could get back to, pre-injury T.J. Warren, that's a 20-point-a-game scorer. You got all the shooting you want, and Seth, Patty Mills, Joe Harris, all of that stuff. LeBron would have a team that he can win a championship with easily. You'd have Joe Claxton. You have guys that you need to win a championship. I just don't think LeBron, 1, would want to go to Brooklyn, and 2, I don't think that the Lakers would trade him or that he would want to be traded. But this thought has been thrown out there before, so I think it's interesting. And then from the Lakers side, like I said, you have Kevin Durant and you have Anthony Davis. I mean, seriously, Kevin Durant's younger. You got him for 4 years. Same thing with Anthony Davis. You don't have to worry about the whole like LeBron leaving thing, anything like that. Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant are good enough to win you a championship. Russell Westbrook, he would be a much better fit with Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis. Maybe you still move Westbrook, right? Maybe you do like the Indiana trade or something like that, where you take on Buddy Hield and you take on, Miles Turner or something like that. And then there you go. And then you just kind of have, Reeves or somebody run just point guard, where they're not really a point guard, but they're just kind of, they're just the one that's bringing the ball up and giving it to KD or giving it to Davis and kind of run your offense through those two. That could be a real possibility. But, I mean, I think personally, you'd be better off leaving Westbrook if this was the case, because now you don't have that clunky fit with him and LeBron. Anthony Davis is going to miss 20-plus games. Kevin Durant's going to miss 20-plus games. So you need that engine to kind of keep you alive and in games. Plus, they have, more of a fit for Westbrook now than before. But yeah, I think it would be a win-win for both sides personally. I just don't think it would ever happen. If this trade was to happen, I wouldn't be entirely against it. Like if it was announced tomorrow, like I wouldn't be like, oh man, like what are they doing? I'd be like, okay, like that's cool. Like, let's see how this plays out. But personally, I think you got to keep LeBron. I think LeBron and Anthony Davis has already been a proven formula. You go get Kyrie, you make the Kyrie trade, and now you're a contender. You're probably winning the championship this year. But that's my opinion. That's my thoughts on this. What are yours? Let me know down in the comment section below. However you feel about this. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Would you do it? Would you not do it? Let me know down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.